Hello everyone, welcome back to another Elden Ring DLC tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to get all the new crystal tiers that are available for the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. So before we begin the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it. So for those of you that don't know, all the new crystal tiers in the Elden Ring DLC actually consists in defeating the furnace golems that you see roaming around the map for this DLC. So for each one that you defeat, you'll get a different crystal tier, and we have to be very careful because there are pretty much three types of furnace golems that we'll have to take a look at because they have different strategies for us to beat them. So let's start with the first location. The first location is right here to the west side of the map, the beginning area, the one where you start and you pretty much, as soon as you walk into the world, you'll see this furnace golem. And it's located right here by the 3-path cross side of grace, right to the east. So once you go to that side of grace, if you just look behind you, you'll be able to spot the furnace golem right behind you from a distance. Now all you wanted to do is summon whatever summon you're using, because they're very important for these fights. They make it a little bit easier because they're very hard. And then you want to focus on the golem's foot because that's its weak point. So whatever weapon you have, focus on that, and whenever the boss staggers, he'll fall down like this, and then you go up to its face and deal the final blow, hopefully. And then that's how we get the first crystal tier, which is the Deflecting Hardtear. And let's move on to the second tier location. So for the second tier, is not far from this location, is actually right here, a little bit to the north. It's actually the side of grace high road cross that you find right after beating Relana. So from here, all you want to do is head north towards the Shadow Keep, and you'll find the furnace golem right here in between this small area that will have a lot of enemies and a few houses. So as you can see, just from here, hop on your horse and you can see from very far away the furnace golem up ahead. Here you have to be careful not to get the attention of too many enemies, otherwise it'll make this fight harder than it has to be. And once again, you can summon whatever summon you prefer. I use the Mimic tier, and I'm also using Euphoria as my weapon because after the patch, Euphoria got a very big buff and is now really great for defeating these golems. So once you're here, just same strategy, hit the golem's foot, and then when it falls down, just hit the face. If you're not able to finish him when he's fallen down, then just go back to hitting the foot, and eventually you'll either kill him again or he'll fall down one more time. And just like that, we get the second tier, which is the Crimsonburst dry tier. Now let's move on to the next crystal tier location. The next one is located right here on the northeastern part of the map, and it's right outside the back side of the Shadow Keep and before the cathedral. So from the Church District High Road side of grace, you want to head back towards this way. And then another thing that's very important for this fight is that you'll probably need at least 3 hefty furnace pots to defeat this enemy. Or if you're a mage, sorcerer, or you have any good ranged weapons, you can use that as well to defeat this furnace golem. That's because the feet for this golem are protected, so you cannot attack his feet. You can only attack his face or the upper part of his body. So if you're able to craft the hefty furnace pots, then you go all the way back here, you'll see the spirit spring to the right, and you want to jump above it, and then you want to have the heavy furnace pots ready to attack. It took me 3 heavy furnace pots to destroy him, and just like this you want to throw them right there, and this will kill this furnace golem. If you don't know how to craft these hefty furnace pots, I'll leave a link in the description down below because it makes this fight a lot easier. So now we got the third tier, which is the Cerulean-Sapping correct tier, and let's move on to the next one. The following crystal tier is located to the west side of the map, here at the Raw Ancient Ruins, and you'll actually find it by the Raw Ancient Ruins west, just over this way, so very close. So if you have that side of grace, the Raw Ancient Ruins west side of grace, and from here you will actually find right behind it, or right behind this hill, a fallen furnace golem that will wake up once you get near to it. Here again you're able to summon whatever summon you want, so I'll recommend you do all that and drink your Mix of Wonders physique if you have any good ones. And once more, the strategy is the same. Keep attacking the Furnace Golem's feet, and once you stagger them, go ahead and attack them on their face, or attack their face. And if that doesn't do it, just repeat and keep going until that does the trick. Be careful with his powerful attacks. And once you've done that, we will earn the 4th crystal tier that we're looking for, which is the Crimson-Sapping cracked tier. And now we're able to move on to the next location for the crystal tiers that we're looking for. So the following crystal tier you can find right here at the southern part of a map by Charo's Hidden Grave Side of Grace, which is the part that's above the Cerulean coast. And we're actually going to go this way right here. And the Furnace Golem will be located further up the road. Here you want to be careful on your way there, because there is a boss right here if you haven't fought him yet, the Death Right Bird, that also attacks you on the way, so you don't want to lose health or anything, or even die before you get there. So just keep following along this cliff right here, and you'll see the Furnace Golem back there. And here again, this is one of the golems that you cannot attack its feet, so you'll either have to attack him from a distance with any type of ranged attack, or use hefty furnace pots to attack him. There's also a Spirit Spring here. And from this fight, I recommend actually jumping onto the Spirit Spring and immediately coming back here and protecting yourself behind this rock. Because this way you're protected from the first attack, and then you can just ride up close to the Furnace Golem. And once more, I needed 3 hefty furnace pots to defeat this golem. And once again we have defeated the Furnace Golem, and we got the Glovewort crystal tier. So now let's move on to the next location. So the next Furnace Golem is actually located not far from where we are right now. And now instead we're going to go to the Cerulean Coast Side of Grace, which is the Side of Grace that's right underneath the Side of Grace that we used for the previous golem. And this is pretty straightforward because the golem will be just right ahead. From the Side of Grace, you want to turn left, and we're gonna go once more above a hill, and right on the other side you can see on the distance the Furnace Golem. So this Furnace Golem can be harder because it does not allow you to summon any summons to your fight. So I put one of my fire negation talismans, and I'm also staying on my horse for the first attack because you don't want to get caught by that and die. And then the strategy just repeats itself. Keep attacking its foot until you stagger them and you're able to attack its face. But because this one doesn't allow you to summon anyone, you have to be a little bit more careful. If you want to use your horse a lot more, go far away to dodge the attacks to give you that time to replenish your life or your mana or whatever, and this way you'll be able to defeat this boss in no time. And just like that we get the next crystal tier, which is the Viridian hidden tier. Now let's move on to the next location, which is actually the location of the last 2 crystal tiers. And this location is right here to the north of the map in the ruins of Erdtree. And this is the location of the first, and this is the location of the second golems. But don't worry, one of the golems will be pretty much knocked down, and you'll have to throw a hefty furnace pot onto its head to wake him up. So let's head to the one on the right, and I'm going to show you what to do for the next one. For this one, once more you can summon, and then once you get close to the Furnace Golem, it will wake up, so do everything you have to do beforehand to prepare yourself for the fight, and focus on its feet, and try to stagger them as fast as possible, so you're able to attack their face and possibly finish them as quickly as possible. just like that, we've defeated this golem and we got the oil soaked tier. So for the final furnace golem, I already have a video on my channel explaining exactly what to do to defeat the final one, because it is different a little bit because you have to wake him up using a hefty furnace pot. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.